What's up, YouTube? Flash Speaks back for another video. You know, I actually take pride in running a channel that is prides itself on being balanced, based on integrity, no cap, no excuses making, and so on. But Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever pick up another loss last night, and the story is Caitlin Clark and her run-in with Seattle Storm's Victoria Vivans, at which both of them received technical fouls. This gives Caitlin Clark her third technical foul on the season, and I believe she's played 9 games. And the rule in the WNBA is that once a player picks up 7 technical fouls, they're suspended for a game. And then after they get any more technical fouls after that game, they are suspended 1 game per technical foul. The 3 technical fouls by Caitlin Clark leads the WNBA. Fascinating enough, of all the players in the WNBA, she has the most technical fouls, through 9 games. Now, I know many of Caitlin Clark, I'm just going to be nice and say fanboys and girls will say, well, this comes as the result of, her being defended tougher than everyone else, or being double teamed, or maybe they're losing. Maybe she's frustrated by coach sides and her, sucky play calling and inability to coach, and her teammates who can't catch passes, and all of these things are leading to Caitlin Clark as losing her cool. Others may not go that way. They may say, well, this is good for her. She's standing up for herself. Standing up for herself. Now, this is where I got to get real. I'm a watcher of the NBA. Okay? My favorite player right now in the NBA is Joel Embiid. I'm a Sixers fan. He's a top 3 player in the NBA. And, according to most opinions, and definitely in my opinion. And one of the biggest knocks on Joel Embiid, and I'd be the first to tell you, is his mental toughness and inability, to not lose his cool, control his emotions. And, I don't know what to tell you guys, but all I'm hearing from, Caitlin Clark people is, she's so mentally strong. And her character is so impeccable on and off the court. She's this big role model that they want their daughters to follow. And listen, I'm not passing judgment. I'm not saying she's not. But what I am telling you about athletes and playing sports myself, as well as watching sports for over 30 some odd years, is one thing I know. Any athlete that could be rattled and can lose their cool, that's not an asset, people. It's not an asset, boys and girls, men and women of the court. If you want to listen, if you want to be real, we don't do capping over here. It is not an asset to lose your cool in the middle of a game, if that's what happened. Okay? That's something that has to be worked on, has to be fixed. If you want to be a champion, I've had people come into my comment section after, the video that I did where I asked the question, are we destroying our female athletes, by putting too much pressure on them? And I gave an example of 2, champions. We talk about Simone Biles, who is considered the greatest in her sport. We're talking about Naomi Osaka, who at times was considered arguably the greatest in her sport. She defeated Serena Williams a few times. And a guy comes in my comment section and says, no, this would never happen to Caitlin because Caitlin is too mentally strong. Her character is too stable. This is what I'm hearing. Really? Really? Well, we're almost halfway to suspension. Okay? That's 3 technical fouls. And we're barely through a quarter of the season. What happens when, the Fever are good enough to get to the playoffs? And she's up against a defender that, because in the NBA, when Michael Jordan, and I'm not making a comp there. As you all know, I do not consider Caitlin to be the comp of anyone of that nature. But she is special, and especially in particular in passing, court vision, IQ. I give her that. She's special in that. And in shooting as well. Kinda. Though the percentage doesn't say that yet. But we know she can shoot, just from the eye test. Michael Jordan will be tested with players like Dennis Rodman, Bill Laimbeer, who not only are trying to stop you from scoring, but they're trying to get under your skin. They're trying to get into your head. That's always been a part of the game. You can't legislate that out of the game. I hope you understand that. Right? I know some of you want legislation. You want the league to step in. You're acting like some of the people you make fun of, Yeah, you make fun of the so-called Democrats who want the government to step in, and change rules to make it easier for certain segments of society, right? Now all I'm hearing is, victimization. She's hated on. Everybody hates her. She doesn't have a chance. They're going to get her out the league. I heard Jason Whitlock say they're going to get her out the league. Oh, man. I'm so disappointed in many of you people. I'm so disappointed in you people. You know why? Because when you're a people that claim to be, pull yourself up by your bootstraps, get it together, I recall men like Ryan Clark being criticized by guys like, who's this guy who came out with this video about what's a woman or something like that, I've heard this guy, who Ryan Clark would knock clean the hell out in a fight. He would knock him clean out. I've heard him call Ryan Clark soft because Ryan Clark, he feels some compassion for the downtrodden. Many of the Caitlin Clark supporters, they're people, they have no compassion for people with drug addict problems. They have no problem with people. They have no compassion for people who end up pregnant, even if they're, raped sometimes, have the baby anyway because of, their their position on abortion. Some of the people who have no heart for anything, all of a sudden, here, they support this basketball player. They support this basketball player who needs rule changes. Everything is interpreted as hate on her. And, and I'm really disappointed because one thing I look for in people is integrity. One thing I look for in people is consistency of thought, consistency of position. One thing I'm looking for you people is to tell Caitlin to suck it up. That's what I'm looking for. I'm not looking for excuses because that ain't what y'all are about. It's interesting. It's really interesting. And, I understand some of the Negroes out there with their channels who they've recognized that Caitlin has a group of followers that are easy to manipulate. That if you go out there, you open up a channel, and you're black and you say Caitlin can play ball, you will become viral. You know why? Because ultimately, Caitlin's followers are looking for validation for Caitlin's game from the black male. I don't care what you say. Because just like in rap, where Eminem, he doesn't care about, the little white kids who actually are his stans, who he made the song about, who follow him. No, he's looking for guys like Rakim to say, this boy can rap. Dr. Dre to say he can rap. Even guys in his neighborhood in Detroit say he can rap. That's where the validation comes from. In basketball, you are valid when Michael Jordan says you can play. When Magic Johnson says you can play. When Shaq says you can play. Yeah, that's the reality. Because if anyone asks who's the GOAT of basketball, some people might say Larry Bird. Some might say Jerry West. But most people are going to say either Michael Jordan, they're going to say LeBron James, Depending on when you're born, you might say Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Depending on when you're born, you might say Wilt Chamberlain. Depending on your affiliation, you might say Bill Russell. But it's more than likely going to be a black man. And I'm not making this about race. No. This actually is just me talking to some of them channels that I'm seeing with Negroes out there who, as soon as they saw the altercation between Caitlin Clark and Vivans, they automatically on Vivans. I saw this one Negro who said, "Calm down, Keisha. You're a black man, and this is how you're talking about the altercation. You're seeing it through those eyes." Oh man, either you're the word that starts with a C, or you're a person that understands, that the pandering to these easy to manipulate people gets you viral attention. Well, no, I'm not going to do that. My integrity for the game of basketball is way more valuable to me than any subscribers or any likes or any super chats. Basketball is going to be here when Caitlin Clark is long retired and maybe she's in the Hall of Fame or whatever her career asks for. It's been here before and will continue to be here. I've seen players come, I've seen players go. And that's the bottom line. But it's just funny how these narrative things work, man, with people. I wonder what happens if Angel Reese was to jump up and jump in Alyssa Thompson's face. Would she be called ghetto, or would she be considered standing up for herself? It's just a thought. Just documenting what's happening. Not passing judgment. But, peace.